the Garage Shed podcast. And I am Gavin Ford.
You're right.
Aki.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm grand. How are you?
Good.
I feel like we need to do a proper intro, actually, of you singing the Garage Shed podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah. Do we produce it?
I would assume you.
You'd have to be there.
Not on my vocal stuff. I want someone to really push me.
Get
So, yeah.
Get MJ Cole on it. He loves the vocal.
So, as promised, it's the 7-hour look into how good 4 Rum Woman is.
Yeah, can't wait.
I think we'll start with a snare. Spend about 3 hours. We'll look at that, and then we'll move on from there.
So hi-hats.
No, not really, not really. But talking of track length, which kind of
That's
was,
a beautiful segue.
I keep seeing on the internet, onto interweb, people moaning about the length of UK garage tracks.
What, moaning that they're too long, too short?
Too short. Too
Right.
short. I saw some tweets, which I always respond as well, because we put out, as you know, on most of our releases, shorter versions of Spotify and then extended versions of stores. But some people, it looked like they want the big, remember the old 7-8
minute.
Russian 12-inch import remixes? So, obviously, in the Spotify, so everyone knows at home, the reason records are shorter is because of Spotify and how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
If you click off of a song, it works negatively for the song. If you play the song all the way through, it works positively for the song. Because it identifies it as you like the song as you've gone all the way through. If you come off it too quickly, bad. If you come off too near the end, it's bad. You've got really want someone to listen to it all the way through.
Yeah.
Which is why tracks are made short.
Like 2 minutes long, yeah.
Yeah, that's why they keep getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Like, I think J. Cole, for the first track of his album, released an interlude.
Right.
Was the single. Because it tricks the algorithm.
Right.
So, if you put an 8-minute track out, even if you fucking loved it, you're probably not going to listen to 3 or 4 minutes of outro drums. You're going to skip past, which will make Spotify think you don't like it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for the shorter tracks.
Yeah.
But do you, as DJs,
Yep.
want 8-minute versions of tracks? Or anything?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Even when I DJ'd 15 years ago with vinyl, I don't think I ever played more than 4 or 5 minutes per track anyway, personally. And I think, like...
There are some DJs that do.
There was some, like, vinyls I liked the second breakdown where I mixed it almost halfway through because I wanted to play it from the second drop. I wouldn't play, like, 5... that's me personally. In house music, I think it's different. Garage.
On
maybe.
Rated 1...
Yes.
You mixed a tune later, or was it Rated 2? One of the albums, you liked the second breakdown, so you started mixing it later.
Yeah, I can't remember which one that was. But
That was a bumpy one, I think.
Oh, no, hang on. It was
A bumpy one.
the Jam, Lamont and Echelon remix.
Oh, was it?
Lamont and
Right,
East.
okay.
Oh yeah, that's a long
Rated
one,
2.
isn't it?
It's a long one. It was just, I mean, that was purpose for the mix that I wanted to, you know, I've got a certain amount of tunes and sort of a lot of the other tunes were shorter as well, so it didn't really make sense for me within that mix to have that one particularly playing for like, you know, 4 or 5 minutes over most of the tracks, which were like 2 minute.
So would you say you wouldn't want longer ones then?
It's not my personal style, so I tend to be a bit quicker. So no, but there are actually it's obviously it's more known within house music or that sort of stuff. But then it's DJ's preference. What crowd are you playing to? I think older crowds. I wouldn't be so generic about it, but in my experience, older crowds are more receptive to longer, drawn out mixing, longer, drawn out tunes.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the younger crowds prefer things quick, immediate. You know, even to the point of sometimes they won't even wait for breakdowns.
Yeah.
You know, like that's an issue that like sometimes crowds, you know, it's not a breakdown thing. They just want to carry on going, and it's just constant beats.
There are some of the drum and bass jump up DJs that we played with. The speed that they are playing.
They're playing
Seen a Mackie G
70 track.
set?
They're playing like
That's what
70.
I was talking. I was leaving Like,
Yeah, they must be
No,
playing.
but it's not. I'm not saying it's a negative thing.
No, I
but,
don't- I'm not
like,
saying it's
if you-
negative,
Not
but-
negative, but they must be playing 60 tracks an hour.
But it is like, yeah, and it's you got to keep that consistency going on. So I think that's the thing as well. Is for me, if I was playing longer tunes, longer drawn out mixes, I think you've got to keep that consistency going on in a set, because I think it's a bit weird
Yeah.
if necessarily you're sort of doing longer drawn out
Oh, yeah,
tunes
yeah.
at certain points. I mean, listen, need a piss. But and then like suddenly, okay, he's going to get busy for 20 minutes.
But if someone sent in a tune to the label and the second breakdown was better than the first, I'd make them move it to the first breakdown,
Yeah.
because I'd assume the DJs won't play it to the second
Not
breakdown.
definitely won't, will they?
I mean, potentially it depends. You know, how good's the first breakdown still? If if it was noticeably different, like then maybe. But the first breakdown still got something. And sometimes there's a lot to be said for the payoff. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a lot to be said for the first breakdown is still weighty, it's still good, but like honestly, stay with it. Get to that. There's a bit I think even in some of the stuff that I've been a part of, and like with On My Knees with Selector, there's a bit late on where it's an organ solo.
Yeah.
The Selector plays. It's great. It's my favourite bit of the tune. I rarely get there, which sounds like ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But it's my favourite part of it. But when it does, I'm like, it's a payoff. Like I
Yeah.
really like it and stuff. And hopefully other people take the same opinion of like, yeah, it's kind of, as well as the crowd, it's being brave enough to go like, yeah, I'll stick with it because the second bit or the bit later on the tune, not even a drop, but just there's a bit later on that comes in. But that said, I think that works when you're being consistent with your mixing through the whole set. It's a bit
Yeah.
It's a bit odd.
But it's a shame sometimes, because off the top of my head, Tough Culture and Prozac are two producers who constantly are adding little bits,
They're more progressive, aren't they?
and they're constantly adding really nice bits, and it kind of feels a shame when they're producers I think I want to mix that for that bit, but again, it's a style thing and it's a quick thing.
Like you say, sometimes there's things if I'm, like I've got the ability, cue points and that sort of stuff to sort of go, okay, well, if I know within a mix, if I say it's a pre-thing done for radio or streaming or whatever like that, and go like, I've only got a certain amount of time, but I want to get to that part, then yeah, maybe I will jump the first part, mix it in.
But you think also like garage music's pretty much all about the drop, and also with jump up. So when you're DJing live, you've got to constantly get to the drop. So no one's going to play it to the second drop because they want to keep constantly the crowd going.
Do you think it's because of the way the world, there's so much going on and everyone's so like
I want it now.
like TikTok
Everything's
videos
so
are 5
instant.
seconds, like
Yeah.
15 seconds, Instagram, I mean, everything's less than a minute.
There's no patience.
I
is
think
there?
like you can take it back to requests, right? So we've all done multi-genre party sets in venues, right? Where it's not just garage, it's a bit of everything. You leave yourself open where you are, you're at the mercy of the crowd and also request-driven stuff. And
Yeah.
it's fine. We've all been there, and I'm sure many people watching this have been there before. But that dynamic has changed since stuff like Spotify has exploded, because I don't remember people being as demanding that they wanted their requests now
Yeah.
as they have done since the music on demand has really taken off, because we've been DJing for a long time, and I remember doing multi-genre stuff and being given a bit more trust or freedom. Someone comes, I'll happily take a request, and they go, can you play such and such? Yeah, cool. And they go, all right, that's all fine. But now it's more, can you play such? You go, yeah, cool. When?
Yeah,
And like,
I used to hate
Can you play it now?
Yeah,
Can you play
we're
it
leaving
next?
in 5 minutes. No, you're not. That's the worst one, isn't it?
And so I as a marker, I think like it just, for me, that goes to show that people sort of the on-demand
Just want things now.
lifestyle has then meant that yes, sometimes music is made with that in mind.
Yeah.
But
Even like Amazon now, you order it, you get it next day. It's like everyone expect things straight away. So yeah, like
we're blaming Amazon for this.
Aki's blaming Amazon, for the decline of UK
Amazon,
garage track
McDonald's, fast food. It's all the same, isn't it?
Ubers,
instant.
aye.
Everyone wants stuff instant, and they're getting it instant now. That's why.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
the
mean, also
music-
garage as a genre has always, that's what makes it a little bit more UK based. It's quicker. It's always been a fairly big.
I mean,
quicker
yeah.
a
Look
lot
at
of the time.
EZ. He was kind of the originator of
Well,
talking music quickly.
Yeah.
Do you think people like got inspired by that and want to copy it?
Do you think Pulse X ruined it?
I want a new song every 8 bars, please.
Do they think that?
You know, but yeah, obviously Grime's always quite quick and all that sort of stuff. And
Everything.
UK, I think UK dance music culture, you know, it's always been not just. I don't think it's exclusive to garage as such, but
Well, yeah, these songs on TikTok, they just a line repeats and it goes round and it's just one line of a song.
yeah. But I think the big tunes shine through. So, for instance, there are tunes in garage that I will religiously play. If I ever play them, I will play them for longer than 3 minutes, and I'll probably finish with those records.
Yeah.
And I'll hope that the DJ coming on after me lets them play for an extra minute or so because it's a banger. Yeah. So stuff like, and these aren't underground, like they're not like undiscovered tunes, but we're talking Gabriel.
Yeah.
You know, God Made Me Funky. These sort of like just legendary tunes. They're the ones that I'll be like, yeah, that's probably going to stay on for a little bit more, unless the next DJ's a bit of an arsehole. I won't necessarily play those songs in the middle of my sets for longer.
Yeah.
But then I'll be picky about where I'm dropping those sort of records and stuff. That's me personally. And then you've got all like the house garage guys.
Yeah.
You know, that are playing that sort of sound. You are playing those records for 4 or 5 minutes a pop and stuff. And it's like longer drawn out mixing, longer outro mixing and stuff.
Well, we did actually look on Juno, and there was quite a lot of tracks that were longer. So they are out there.
Yeah. I just think for Spotify, a majority of them are shortened down just because of the algorithm.
We do both, but
yeah. So they are available, longer versions.
Yeah, so as people getting themselves club ready for the return of the clubs, all options are available. So to sum up, is UK garage music too short now?
I don't believe so. I think it's there if you're looking hard enough. That's what I think. If you're on Spotify, there's a good argument for that. Then yes, but you know, don't just be going on Spotify for your track selections.
But I think I think we do extended versions, but I don't think massively anything's over 4 minutes.
No.
But put in the comments if you want stuff over 4 minutes, so we can just get them to loop some shit around.
Even on like our releases, like Enter the Garage 2 that just came out, there was tracks that were between 3 and 5 minutes. It's across the board. Depends on the song itself.
I think 5 minutes is the limit now. I don't really see many go over 5 minutes. So
you stick a limit on it, Ak?
Huh?
You actually stuck a limit on it. There you go.
I could be wrong, but
is a question before we finish up. Okay, what is your piss break tune? You got to play garage, specifically garage. Are there any ones that stick out? You go, oh, I need a piss, but I'm gonna need more than 4 or 5 minutes for this. I need an extra minute just in case there's some drunken guy in the way. I'm trying to get back to the booth. He's in the way.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
I mean, obviously there's Gabriel.
I think mine's possibly Sugar is Sweeter.
Oh, good choice.
Because the intro is probably about a minute. People get ready for it.
It's got like 2.5 minutes. You can get back to the booth by the time you had a piss.
Exactly. And then there's a big breakdown and then it drops and it's you've got a good 4 or 5 minutes for a piss.
I'll chuck on a podcast. You know, let them learn something, you know.
Yeah, it's always good to drop a podcast in the middle of your set.
Yeah, I do.
Popping off.
An audio book.
Wait till Gavin does the intro. It's going to pop off in this bit here.
Well, what's yours then, Chris?
Yeah, Sugar is Sweet is good. Rip Groove's not bad.
Rip Groove, yeah. You can get away with playing the second breakdown on that.
Because you can't really, I don't know if you're like this, right? If you've ever, I don't leave a booth, if I'm really need to piss, I've never left a booth before the first drop. Because that looks kind of what, you got to be in the booth for the drop. I think.
I go.
Do you go? So there's the two drops, you're not there to
No, as soon as your record's, because you've got to be in and out.
Yeah, but I got to be there for the drop. It's kind of the engagement.
Some clubs are easier than others, but when you used to play like Oceana, you had to. It's a good, 60, 70 meters to the toilet. You had to make a dash for it straight away.
Are you good? Okay. Have you ever held long enough, or do you know what I mean? I just don't. I try not to drink too much in sets if I'm doing long ones, for that reason.
I think I was quite good at it.
Trained yourself not to piss.
No, I just think it was.
I mean, we're talking about those 5-hour sets that you do as a resident DJ. It's not really the 1 hour. You'd be able to hold your bladder for an hour. Something wrong there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's towards the end, and I think I can't remember having a set record.
The multi-genre one nights are easier.
Have you ever been and not got back in time? That's a good question.
Well, I haven't been close to it, actually.
That's
See, I prep for so I do prep for that by making sure the next tune's set up, ready to go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
you can auto cue.
Line it up, ready to go. Okay, cool.
On vinyl, you could do that though. Or you can do auto cue on CDJs. But
we can do a podcast about all the really, really mental things that we've done whilst DJing.
Tactics.
Like all the times that I've done something that shouldn't be done whilst DJing, I'm happy to go into it as a podcast.
Yeah,
You go long enough for that.
I'm up to that.
It's a whole separate one. I can't go into all the things I've done wrong.
Yeah,
Whilst DJing, all the things that,
yeah. That's an interesting podcast, actually.
there's some stories there.
Things not to do when DJing.
Yeah, that's things not to do when DJing. I can write the book on that. Some of them are very obvious that I shouldn't do. But, good advice nonetheless. So
Yeah,
we decided garage records are the right length.
They're right.
Stop
They're
moaning
there
about 'em.
They're there if you look.
But if you disagree, put in the things and we'll...
Sometimes I do want more of one tune if they're too short. For instance, there have been certain releases, recent ones that I've really liked, and it's not a whinge. It's not a going, oh, this isn't long enough, whatever. It's more like, oh, I just wish this was longer because I really like this record.
Oh, there's a Higo one, wasn't there?
That was the one for me, yeah. Morning and stuff that was very short. I know there was a slightly longer version, but even then I was going to, we'll have this for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If there's a 5-minute version, I'll eat it up because I just really like the record. It's not a complaint that,
yeah,
So
yeah.
we understand Spotify, how it works, but give us extended versions, you scumbags. Is
Nice to
the
have the
message.
option.
Yeah. Don't let it play with the algorithm. Let us
Yeah.
do longer versions.
I'm glad we cleared that up. If there's any other things that are troubling the UK garage community, then let us know. We'll solve it.
Yeah, we'll go.
Judge, jury, and executioner. Thank you for watching. Wallet.